Okay, so you've probably heard the name Uniswap, right? Ever wonder how just one protocol could, you know, shake up the entire world of decentralized finance so much?
Yeah,
Today, we're going to unpack that, really dive deep into its incredible journey.
that's right. Uniswap isn't just some platform that popped up. It's really a story of constant innovation. It's evolved dramatically from pretty humble beginnings to the powerhouse it is today.
Yeah.
And our mission here is to really understand that evolution, its impact, and maybe what it means for you as a user.
So let's rewind a bit. Back to 2018, Uniswap V1. This was really the groundbreaking moment for the automated market maker, the AMM model.
Mm.
Using that, well, pretty elegant constant product formula, Sexac stock Y equals K dollar, which basically
Mhm.
means the pool keeps the product of the two tokens constant, and that automatically sets the price. Revolutionary stuff.
Totally.
But it was initially limited, wasn't it? Just ETH to ERC20 token swaps.
Exactly. And that initial simplicity in V1, that was very much intentional. It was all about prioritizing security,
Yeah.
laying the groundwork carefully. Then came V2 in 2020.
Right.
And that really opened the floodgates. It allowed any ERC20 token to swap directly with any other ERC20.
Right.
And what's fascinating is that V2 is actually still super relevant today.
Yeah.
A lot of passive liquidity providers prefer it because it's kind of set and forget. Simple.
V2 definitely blew things open, but it also highlighted a growing pain.
Capital inefficiency.
Capital inefficiency, yeah. Lots of
Yeah.
liquidity just sitting there spread thin.
That's a key point.
So how did Uniswap tackle that with V3? Because this wasn't just a small step up. V3 really threw a wrench into the old AMM thinking, didn't it?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, 2021 V3 drops with concentrated liquidity. And this just fundamentally changed how LPs interact.
How so?
Well, instead of spreading capital across the entire price range, LPs could allocate it within specific price ranges.
Ah, focusing it where the action is.
Exactly. So their capital is only active where most trading actually happens. This massively improves capital efficiency. We're talking like up to 4,000 times less capital needed for the same market depth.
Wow, 4,000x.
Mm.
That's not just a number. It feels like it changed how capital should be used in DeFi, making every dollar work way harder.
It did.
But okay, what's the trade-off? For a casual LP, is V3 even practical? You mentioned amplified risk, active management. Did it kind of price some people out?
That's a really important question.
Mm-hmm.
V3 definitely professionalized the LP role and requires active management now. Your LP position actually became an NFT, a non-fungible token.
Right, the NFT part.
And that amplified the risk of impermanent loss if the price moves outside your set range. It's a good lesson in DeFi, I think. Innovation often comes with new trade-offs. V3 also brought in that tiered fee structure, 0.05%, 0.30%, 1.00%, reflecting different risk levels.
Right, Uniswap V4, slated for January 2025, I believe. This looks like a pretty fundamental architectural shift.
How so?
It moves to a singleton pool manager contract for all pools. The big promise there is significantly reduced gas costs for swaps. Lower fees are always good. But what else? I heard about hooks.
Yes, hooks are the really big deal in V4. These are external smart contracts that let developers add custom logic before or after a swap or liquidity action.
So, like plugins, what could you do with that?
Think on-chain limit orders, dynamic fees that adjust automatically, maybe TWAM orders,
Mm-hmm.
all built on top of Uniswap without needing to fork the whole protocol. It opens up a huge design space.
That sounds incredibly flexible. But flexible usually means complex. Any new risks?
Definitely. With great power comes, well, new security concerns. Reentrancy is a big one, where a malicious hook could potentially drain funds. And also gas griefing, where someone could make transactions unnecessarily expensive through a hook. Developers really need to be careful building these.
Okay, so V4 pushes boundaries for devs and pros, but what about, the average person just wanting to swap some tokens or maybe dip their toes into LPing with V2 or V3?
Good question. For the average trader, honestly, it's pretty smooth. The Uniswap web app has this auto router.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It just automatically finds the best swap path for you, checking both V2 and V3 pools. Mostly seamless.
But not if you're providing liquidity.
Right. If you're an LP, you have to choose. You manually select the version V2 or V3 and the specific pool, weighing up those different risk and reward profiles we talked about. Your wallet just signs the transaction. The D app figures out the details.
Gotcha. And this mix of tech and user experience seems to be working. Uniswap's dominance is pretty clear.
Oh, yeah. It consistently handles over, $2 billion in daily volume. It has significant market share driven by its deep liquidity and this liquidity flywheel effect.
Explain that flywheel a bit.
Sure. More liquidity attracts more traders because they get better prices, less slippage. More traders mean more fees generated.
Which attracts more LPs wanting those fees.
Exactly. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. It pulls in liquidity like gravity, making it hard for others to compete on depth for major pairs.
But it's not alone out there, right? Who are
Yeah.
the main competitors?
No, definitely not alone. The space is diverse. You've got PancakeSwap, huge on BNB chain, often more gamified, lower fees maybe. SushiSwap, more community-driven, trying to integrate lots of services. Curve Finance, yeah, hyper-specialized in stablecoin swaps, very low slippage there. And then you have DX aggregators like 1inch. They don't have their own pools, but they route your trade across all these different DXs to find the absolute best price.
Okay, so a busy ecosystem. For someone listening, what are the main opportunities with UniSwap specifically?
Well, the core DeFi benefits. It's permissionless, non-custodial. You always control your keys, your assets. That's huge. Potential for passive income as an LP if you understand the risks, and you can participate in governance through the UNI token.
And the risks. We touched on them, but let's be clear.
Impermanent loss is the big one for LPs. That riskier assets are worth less in the pool than just holding them, like a 2x price change. That can mean about a 5.7% loss relative to holding. It catches people out.
Ouch.
Then smart contract vulnerabilities always a risk in DeFi, maybe slightly more complex with V4's hooks, potentially. And of course, gas fees on Ethereum, though using it on Layer 2 networks like Arbitrum or Optimism really helps mitigate that cost.
Right. So wrapping up, Uniswap's journey really seems to mirror DeFi's own maturation, doesn't it? Balancing that initial simplicity for traders with increasingly powerful, complex tools for the pros and developers.
I think that's a great way to put it. The protocol is cementing itself as core DeFi infrastructure. And the innovation, especially with V4 hooks, enabling programmable liquidity, it just opens up this vast new design space.
So maybe the question for you, the listener, is this.
How will these new capabilities, this programmability, fundamentally reshape the kinds of financial products and services we start seeing in this decentralized world? Definitely something to think about until our next deep dive.